Hey everyone, I wanted to put a quick notice at the beginning of this video. We have an interaction with Shane in this one in which he discusses some mental health and self-harm. I go into pretty good detail about some of my past with that towards the end of this video, and although it's not graphic and it does not glorify, it is in fact intended to educate and bring together. But in case that's something that you do not want to hear about, I totally understand, and just go ahead and skip this video and I will talk to you tomorrow. But if it's something that you can stomach, I do want you to know that nothing that's said in here do I look at as negative. I think it's important that we share these things and are open and normalize various types of mental health issues. And to me, these are just things that I have dealt with in my life. They are not to be viewed negatively, positively, or otherwise. It is just objectively a part of my life, and I feel the need to share it. Anyway, I hope you, I won't say enjoy, but I hope you get something out of this. And if not, I will talk to you tomorrow. Good morning, chicks and chickens. Welcome back to Old Man Farm. My name is Sid, as always. Looks like we have no birthdays today, which is nice. Gives us some wiggle room on what we want to do today. And I'm not exactly sure, but I think we might be checking out the aquarium today. It's been months since we've been, and I think we should drop off some fish and have a little nice rainy day excursion. But let's go outside and check. Actually, first, I guess we should check our television, right? What do we got? Very happy today, so I don't think we have any mining or anything we could be doing, do we? We have, we have to make all these bombs. Not gonna lie to you, we're probably not gonna do that. I don't think it's gonna be possible. Do we have anything else we really need to do? It doesn't appear so. We do have to harvest all this corn. And, you know, I guess we're just gonna not replant these this season. So, no big deal. I'm not sure what happened to our one corn here. Did it perhaps get hit by lightning? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take care of all of our chores. Harvesting, sorting, making artisan goods, handling the livestock. And then I think we're going to bop over. We're going to see if we can start on the breakfast quest line for the Stardrop Saloon. And if not, yeah, we're just going to go up to the aquarium. That is the plan today. Let's go ahead and read this mail, though. I want to say thanks for taking an interest in my work. Here's a cooking recipe that I like. Demetrius, Autumn's Bounty. Thank you. That is actually, that's a pretty solid one. If I remember correctly, that is a rather helpful recipe. So, we streamed yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment today. And, I have finally made some significant progress on a script I have been working on for weeks, and I'm going to talk about all of those today at some point. I suppose we'll start with the stream. We beat Pseudo Regalia yesterday. I set out to, you know, sort of just play that game, see what it was all about. Got really sucked into it, although I'm not going to lie, yesterday I did have a solid 15-20 minutes where I was fairly frustrated, which I hate getting that frustrated, but I did, and you know, I think it's just, I don't think I would have been so frustrated if I was not streaming, because actually what was bothering me was not that I couldn't figure out what was going on, because that kind of stuff really doesn't bother me in games. I don't mind to be lost. I don't mind to have to practice something many times to get it done properly. That doesn't bother me. I kind of enjoy that. But what bothered me is I thought that me trying to make this singular jump for, you know, 20 minutes was probably very boring to anyone watching, and I felt bad. So I started to get frustrated and wanted to quit, and then right as I did, I accidentally sort of stumbled my way into completing what was giving us so much trouble. But long story short, I did beat that game. It is over on the other channel. I'm going to try to link a card to it again, but last time I said that, I didn't put a card up because I literally, since there was nothing on the channel, I could not find it. I searched it and searched it on YouTube, you can't find it. But now that there's some content on it, I think it shouldn't be a problem. So if that's something to be interested in watching, if you are either unable or do not want to hop on and watch live on Twitch, yeah, just go on over to the channel. I will be posting all the VODs. Now, there are some things that you won't get. For instance, at a certain point in the video, after we beat the game, I went on to talk about what we were going to be streaming in the future, what would be streaming next. And I actually was browsing Steam on stream to sort of try and figure that out. And I cut that, obviously, for the VOD. No one needs to see that. You know, that doesn't need to be recorded in perpetuity. But it was fun to sort of, you know, show off those things and get people's opinions. Yeah, that does lead me to one thing I wanted to talk about is if you are interested in the stream, I'm going to be putting up a poll this week of what we should be playing next. I do believe that for October, I'm going to... There are a few spooky games that I am leaning towards doing, but I also may... Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I may try to play another cozy game like Sunhaven or Harvestella, Hello Dusty, or some things like that. But I'll be putting that poll up, and if streaming is something you're interested in, or if watching the VODs is something you're interested in, I would really appreciate your input on that. But anyway, that's that. It was fun. The final boss of that game was so much fun. I really hope they make a Pseudo-Regalia 2, and I hope there are more boss battles, because that boss battle was bananas fun. Also, I realized when we walked all the way here, didn't bring any of our fish, so we're gonna turn around, we're gonna go get the fish, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna go up to the aquarium. Man, there are so many berries. I guess we should have been picking these. That's okay. Grab them now. And then to round out the day, when we come back from the aquarium, because it doesn't take all day, and when we're done with that, I do believe we're going to go to the secret woods and do some chopping. I want to get more of that hardwood squared away. I'm very interested in trying to get our horse stable. Because I think in the hundreds of hours I have played this game, I have had a horse on my very first farm, and that's it. So we'll check into that. Let's see. Cutthroat, Fixer, Grass Carp. Now here is the thing. I do not know. I do not know if the Ridgeside fish are going to be accepted at the aquarium, and if they are, I truly hope that they do not have some sort of conflict and crash the game. So if, when we get there, there's some weird cut or the screen goes black, that's what happened. I'll let you guys know. But hopefully that's not a case. Not the case, whatever. So other thing is, I went to my doctor today. If you're familiar with last week, I had a sort of, I won't say emergency visit, but it was a pressing visit. I was having really bad, I would say dizzy spells, but it was really more just constant dizziness, constant headaches. Really sucked. Ooh! Oh no. Shane's staring at the train tracks saying, I'm not like that anymore. Hey, I didn't expect to see you here. What should I say? What are you doing by the tracks? Why are you up here all by yourself? You look like you have a lot on your mind. I'm gonna go with that one. Because I know that when I'm in a bad place, especially, you know, being an alcoholic like Shane, asking what are you doing up here and why are you by yourself feels accusatory, whereas you just look like you have a lot on your mind feels like, hey, do you want to talk? Nothing gets past you, does it? Not when it comes to alcoholics, Shane. Truthfully, the last time I came here, I was planning to jump in front of a train. And I was more than ready to end it all. I felt like everything was falling apart around me, and the world was becoming less real. Suicide seemed to be the only option left. It's hard to believe I felt that way not too long ago. Hey man, I understand that. I even spent time researching how to commit suicide by train. If you do it wrong, there's a chance you could just lose your legs and bleed out or be cut in half. Did you know that? I really believed I had nothing in my future, nothing to look forward to. I don't know what I was thinking telling you that. Might have drank too much again. Still feeling that hangover. Hey, I need to drink some water. My head's starting to ache. Well, that was heavy. I feel like I'm gonna have to put a content warning at the beginning of this, but as with, you know, a few things we've had happen recently, I think that is very important, and you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about this openly. So if I mean, whatever, he already said it, so you know, I'm not monetized. It's gonna get suppressed if it's gonna get suppressed, but if suicide is not something you want to hear about, I totally understand. Feel free to dip out. But I am no stranger to those feelings. I'm no stranger to doing research about said feelings or even attempts. It's you know, it's not something that I hide from in my personal life. I am very open as, wait a second, this is Ridgeside. Holy crap, and there's Chrono on the wall. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt such a important topic here, but all of this is to say, I'll get back to it in specifics, but if you have those thoughts, seriously, I know everyone says it, either if you want to talk to someone in real life, go for it, but the suicide hotline is a wonderful resource. They have legitimately saved my life more than once, and I think it's important that much like we were talking about PTSD, which again, these two things could be intertwined. What am I doing? I'm not thinking. It's important that you realize that it's normal. You know, that there are a lot of people that feel suicidal, and it's also something that people that don't or have never experienced it, it can honestly feel so foreign to them that they don't know how to talk about it. And don't let that make you feel alienated, and don't let it make you feel like they're looking down on you or things like that. They truly may just not understand. And as we talked about, or as I mentioned in the comments, the same, you know, with the PTSD thing, a lot of that is just ignorance. It's not malice. It's usually just ignorance. But as I said, I have been exactly where Shane was. Now, mine was not a train. That's I'm not throwing shade at this fictional character here, but it's a little dramatic, even for me. But I won't get into the specifics of what I was looking into here on my Stardew channel. I feel like that's you know, maybe this is the wrong forum for that conversation, but I did do research in how to do it and do it properly so that there are no mistakes. When I was younger, I had taken some actions that medically, I'm very lucky to still be here. And like he said, you know, looking back now, you know, I wouldn't say that I can't believe that I was at that point, because I 100% can, because quite honestly, the underlying emptiness that caused those feelings for me is not really gone. I've come to accept it, and with no longer drinking, okay, so if you're familiar with absurdism or nihilism to a degree, things like this, where your outlook involves that there is no inherent meaning in things, that's the way I see the world. I don't see inherent meaning, and the word inherent is very important. I believe that you find your own meaning, you make your own meaning, and as such, when I was drinking a lot, and when I was just in worse places in my life, the optimistic end of optimistic nihilism, or embracing of the absurd and absurdism, could be very difficult for me. But now, I don't, and this is not to say I do not still have moments where I struggle. I do. I just had a suicidal intrusive thought last week. It does not, but that doesn't mean that I want to die, right? It's sometimes we just have these intrusive thoughts, and with Shane, when you are overwhelmed with either, you know, the stress of living, or in my case, the just absolute absence of meaning, like, what, you know, that feeling of why do I do any of this? What, you know, life is so difficult, and I cannot find any reason why I should keep doing this. The way I have come to look at it, and this is not my, I didn't come up with this saying. I don't actually know who did. I don't know where I heard this, but I'm sure I didn't come up with it. But it is a very permanent solution to what could be a very temporary problem. And as such, I am glad that the things that I put myself through did not result in either long-term or permanent death or destruction to my body and well-being. And in fact, since this kind of leans in, that's kind of the news I got from my doctor today, that my liver function is well on its way to being recovered. My blood and my heart are incredibly healthy, healthier than they have been in since we've been recording it in my entire adult life. And I still, after all that, and despite making all these positive changes, I still feel an absolute inherent lack of meaning to anything. I live and continue living because I'm going to die someday, and then I'm going to be dead forever. And again, I am not saying this to impugn or debate anyone's philosophical outlook on death and afterlives and things like that. This is not about that. But the way I see the world, I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna be dead forever. You know what I mean? And I have the rest of forever to be dead. I only have this small amount of time to be alive, so even if it was horrible, and my life's not horrible, but even if it was horrible, it's going to take a lot of horrible to make me decide that, you know what, I'm done. I'd rather just not exist forever. And I've been there. Like I said, I've very, very much been there. And having those thoughts, it can be frightening, especially when, as has happened to me, you have them and you don't want to be having them. You want the thought of non-existence to get out of your head. that is, as I mentioned earlier, that's the very definition of an intrusive thought. It's not something you want to be there. It's not something you want to dwell on. And in many ways, it may not even be something that you actually believe or think. It's just shoved in there and you can't get it out. And that can be really tough, you know? That can be... it can feel impossible. It truly, truly can. So anyway, I could sit and ramble about this forever, but you guys aren't my therapist, and you know, I do hope that this wasn't too, you know, triggering or anything for anyone. I talk very plainly about my problems, my alcoholism, my other mental you know, my other mental issues. I do not feel a need to hide them. I really think that by speaking about them and normalizing it, I would hope that at best they could be helpful to someone. And at worst, you know, you turn this off and you're not hearing this right now, and that is 100% you're right. And I do not want to force anyone into confronting something that they are not ready to do. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to make this such a heavy episode. And to me, again, this may be heavy, but this is not negative. This is not dark. This is just a natural part of my life, of my existence, is these thoughts, is these scars, both physical, mental, emotional, internal, external, that I bear because of this, is just a part of my life. And I don't know. I suppose at the end of the day, if my rambling about the less than ideal times and circumstances that I have put myself through and that my brain chemistry has put before me, is at all helpful to anyone else, even if it just is enough to make you know that you are not alone, and that being depressed is not, it is not relegated to people that have it the worst. You could have everything you quote unquote want and everything you need and still feel abysmal, and that is fine. And I just hope that, for me, I forget who said this, but someone, I remember hearing, you know, you can handle anything for 10 seconds. And then when that 10 seconds is over, you just handle it again for 10 seconds more. And in my head, I think 10 minutes, because that's just the way my brain works. I can handle anything for 10 minutes. I mean, truly, I cannot think of too many things on the planet that I cannot handle for 10 minutes if I know it's going to end. And then at the end, I just tell myself again, you can do this for 10 minutes. Next thing, a day, an hour has gone by, and those bad thoughts hopefully have subsided. If they haven't, do it for 10 more minutes. And next thing you know, maybe it's the next day, and hopefully you feel better. And if not, do it for 10 more minutes. And I know that sounds exhausting, and it is. But when you live with those kind of thoughts, exhaustion is something you're fairly used to. You may as well be exhausted moving towards escaping those thoughts than succumbing to the exhaustion that you already feel. Again, I'm using the royal you. This is just the way my brain thinks about these things. But point being is, I hope you take care of yourself. And when I say be good to each other, a lot of that is because you don't know what someone else is going through, and your small positive interaction with someone really could make a significant change in their mental state, just enough to allow them to say, you know what, that 10 minutes was better. And sometimes that's all it takes, you know? But anyway, I hope you have a good day whenever you watch this. And as always, be good to each other and yourself. I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.